Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Urchak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I've got it pulled up on the screen a clip from Arrows of Indignation 144. And it says, the curse is right before your eyes, Deuteronomy 28 and 37, Jeremiah 17 and 4, come to mind. But, yeah, this girl in this video is going into it, these different names that we've been called, and this was basically a ballot for what we as Negroes, so-called Negroes, even though we're of the southern kingdom of Israel, so-called Judites, as well as Levites and Benjamites, but predominantly Judites here in America, were having a vote on what we should be called within America. And she's going into this, and it shows the curses, because we would be called everything except for who we truly are, which are Israelites, which are the sons and daughters of the living power. But yeah, we'll go ahead and listen to her. So here we go.
This out. So back in 1937, a publication called the Afro-American Magazine did a survey and took a poll asking our people at the time what they wanted to be called, and check out the results. So you have Negro, which won overwhelmingly, because, I mean, we ain't nothing but some Negroes, right? Of course we are. They got buku votes for colored, too, right? But obviously they would, because Negro and colored was often always used synonymously, right? Colored got 833 of the votes. Okay, this blank space right here, I had to go do some deep dive research. So the blank space held Afro-American, not African-American. African-American was never on here. Afro-American. And Afro-American got 93 people interested in that. Okay, so strictly American, just plain old American, no black, no nothing, just American. 10 people was feeling that, right? So you got Moorish Americans. Again, this was 1937. And 10 people was saying, call me a Moor. What a Moor's a TikTok at? Shout out to the Moors of TikTok. We got American Negro. 5 people thought that was a good idea. Whatever the hell this is, nobody cared. So I won't either. We got black, just strictly black. 2 people was feeling it. Ethiopian, I don't know what that was about, but 9 people was trying to ride that wave. You hear me? Asiatic, oh man, they was joking. You know our people funny as shit, and 6 of them laughed. African. Again, this was 1937, and they asked our people, our ancestors, if they wanted to be called African, and 2 of them said yes. They got colored American Negro. 1 person thought that was a good idea. Ethio-American, 7 people thought that was a good idea. Black American, man, that's the one that's stinging, because, like, I don't know, I like being called Black American. But you know one thing that I noticed about the Negro peoples? We change our name every time we have a shift in our political thought. Because when we were colored, Negro, and with the new Negro movement, the new Negro movement was basically, we are the descendants of the people that built this country. We're going to stay right here and fight for our rights in this country. Sound familiar? But see, that was the new Negro movement, right? So once we shift from Negro, we went to black. And black was ushered in by us wanting to be all-inclusive, and in this Pan-Africanness, include the diaspora movement, right? That was the Black Power movement. So we shifted from Negro, new Negro movement, to the Black Power movement, and we became black. Now, once we got deep into the Black Power movement and it was all sabotaged and everything, we try to play the game within politics by, trying to stand side by side with the Democrats. We changed our name again. Jesse Jackson cut some backdoor deal with the Democrats, obviously, and turned us into African Americans. Now, here we sit in 2025 with a huge shift in our political thought. And we got FBA on the table. We got ADOS on the table. We got all kinds of different things on the table. I kind of like that, though. I kind of like that when our political thought shifts, we change our name 'Cause call us king, bitch.
And she said, just call us king, because that's truly what it is. But I liked how she was going into, we're speaking of how every time our political minds changed, our names have changed. And that's true. We've gone through a ton of different names, but that's just a part of the curses that have been on us. We're going to start here at Jeremiah 17:4. It says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. And he's talking to Jeremiah here, but speaking to all of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We've all discontinued from our heritage that the Lord gave us, which are Israelites, which are the sons and daughters of the living power, which are the gods, little g, of this earth, of this world. And we've had that taken away because of our own doing. We broke the law, statutes, and commandments. We broke the first covenant, and these are the consequences of it. To be put under those curses of Deuteronomy 28, have our heritage taken away from us, and part of those curses go into the nations calling us proverbs and bywords, which he had these two scriptures put down there, Jeremiah 17:4, and then Deuteronomy, I think it was 28 and 37. He says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. And we've been scattered across the four corners of the earth. That was also a part of the punishment, to be scattered, to be non-cohesive with the other members of our nation, to be taken away. And so we've been in these different parts of the world under different nations. So we're going to come back looking like these other nations, but while there, we would be called everything but Israelites, or but the tribe that we come from, but Judites, but Benjamites, but Gadites, everything. We're called everything except for these things. So we're called Indians and savages. We're called Negroes. We're called black people. We're called, all of these words that are outside of what we truly are. I'm sure the scattered in East India, they're called a certain name. I think they're the Dalits, the lowest form of that hierarchy, that caste system that they have over there. We've been scattered and put at the bottom of all nations, but we're at the time where the Lord is calling us back. And that girl in the video was saying, every time we change politically, this time we're actually changing spiritually, and we're coming back to who we truly are, to our real names. We know that we are Judites or Reubenites. Now we know that we are the Israelites, and we're still waking up, but all of these names are going away. These curses are slowly being taken off of us, and they're going on to our enemies because they've been found liars to put all these different names on us, as well as all the other lies that they've done. But this is Isaiah 10 and verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, so that the elect are coming back, the elect of Israel, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. And first and foremost, that be Esau Edom. That's the sword of the Lord, so-called white people, including those tiny toppers that are in the land calling themselves the Lord's people. We're not staying under them. They're the ones who put all these different names on us. If you look up African American and where that came from, it was two tiny toppers that came up with that. And those are the ones that owned the slave ships that we came over on. And they beat our heritage out of us, and they put it onto themselves. And so we're coming into a time where that controversy of Zion It's being mentioned in that veil that's been spread over all people. That's being raised up to where people know that those aren't the Lord's people. And they also are coming to realize that that the so called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Lord's people, and that those people are not. And so this is all that veil is coming up, and we're also not staying under their word because they're the ones that smote us, and they're the ones that put these names on us, but we're not staying under that because we know that they are liars. That enemies shall be found liars unto thee. It says, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And in truth, we know that those are Edomites, and that we, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are Israelites. We're not staying under what they say anymore because we now know who our owner is. Isaiah 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. And that survey, or that voting ballot box for what we would be called, that was all because we did not know our owner. We did not know that we were the people of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And so we're agreeing to be called black people, agreeing to be called Afro-American or Ethio-American, those different names that were on that ballot. That's not us. We are Israelites of the appropriate tribe of the appropriate nation of Israel under the Lord. We know that we are the Lord's, and we are calling ourselves after what the Lord called us. He put his name on us, which actually we'll go here first. Isaiah 45 and 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and his 12 sons became the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is his chosen nation. The Lord chose one nation to rule over all of the other nations and to have the promises and the blessings of immortality and rulership over all the other nations. That is his elect. Israel, mine elect. And even if that elect nation, he has an elect group of servants within that elect nation. It says, I have even called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Because he took away that name from us. And so we're actually coming back to having the Lord's name, because we're realizing who our owner is. We're not staying under him that smote us anymore, and coming back to our true owner, our true master, our true power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Isaiah 44 and 5. It says, one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. So we are going through that valley of dry bones. We are standing on our feet, all thanks to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for pouring those living waters onto our dry bones, giving us our name back, giving us our heritage back, standing on our feet. And we're not calling ourselves after these false names, these proverbs and bywords that have been put onto us. And even just calling us American Negroes, it doesn't seem that bad, but it's not who we are. So it's not the truth. We need to, or our power is a power of truth, of spirit and truth. So we have to be called by our true names. We have to call the Lord by his true name as well. It's not Yeshua or Yahuwah, all these different names that people try to put on it. The Father's name is Yahweh, his Son's name is Yahushai, and his people's names are Israelites, Yasharallah. We have to stay under this in truth because we worship a power of truth. It says, one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. And our people are having a bigger change. She spoke of political change and us calling ourselves by different names. This bigger spiritual change, this awakening, the Great Awakening is happening. And we're calling ourselves Israelites because that's truly who we are. And we're calling the other nations who they truly are because everybody goes back to a biblical nation. Those are the names that should be on us, not calling ourselves black people or Latinos or Indians or Native Americans, whatever names. We are sons and daughters of the living power. We are the Israelites. And these other nations, those aren't white people, those are Edomites. Those aren't Chinese people, those are Moabites. Those aren't Arabs, those are Ishmaelites. We've got to get back to truth. And everybody goes back to a biblical nation. That veil is being lifted. The awakening is occurring, and this word's gone out. We are at the end. We're watching the end come. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.